the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
There's the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. For the Record is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking and pension needs, call or visit a Fidelity branch today. Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. And Cayman Pharmacy Group, with locations in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. And Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling Seaboard Marine at 949-4977.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record.
For the record.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Friday, the 12th day of October 2017. I trust that everyone had an enjoyable evening and that you're raring to go today, this Friday, which will be the last working day of the week for some. There are others who have to work on Saturdays as well, so today may not be the last working day of the week for you in that situation. I want to remind you that For the Record, today and many days before and in the future is brought to you by Cayman Airways. Cayman Airways, they are now offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City starting this December. So call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your flights today. That is direct flights from Grand Cayman to New York starting this December. That is Cayman Airways or national carrier. I want to thank you, our listening and viewing audience, for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. Our phone lines are always open. There is always someone there waiting to take your calls. Normally, that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. If you don't like to talk on the telephone, email us at For the Record. That is one word, For the Record, at CANDW.KY. We also have a WhatsApp number. That WhatsApp number is 925-3261. And you can also follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Today being Friday, it's the day that we have the official opposition in the studio, and it is my pleasure to welcome into the studio again this morning none other than MLA Mr. Arden McLean. We're going to be talking about several topics today, and one that I will insert into the conversation will include the use of consultants in the Cayman Islands, especially consultants, especially being used especially during election time, but not necessarily only election time, but now that a referendum is being proposed, and if the those who are calling for a referendum are able to garner the necessary signatures, 5,000 plus signatures, to initiate a people's-initiated referendum, whether or not we will see the use of consultants here in the Cayman Islands to try to influence people's vote or their thought process as well. And I say that simply because there is there have been several articles, in particular in the Guardian, the international edition, talking about a former executive of Cambridge Analytica, and there's now a new company called, I believe it's SCL, that were extremely active in the Caribbean, providing election advice, surveys, and various things to various governments or political parties in the Caribbean. And that executive, in 2010, while their company was trying to woo one of the Barbados political parties, of which the current Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, is the Prime Minister. At that time, she was in the opposition, and they were trying to woo her along with another lady by the name of Mo to engage their services as consultants. And they don't come cheap. They come at $20,000 US per month. And when they didn't hear back from Ms. Motley and her colleague, one of the other executives wrote to Mr. Nix, I think his name is Alexander Nix, who was the executive at that time, and say that for some reason they're not getting back to us. And his response to him at that time was, they are just niggers. They use the N-word. They are just niggers. So that was his approach, this British executive, towards Caribbean women. And because they rebuffed him or didn't respond to them in relation to providing services at $20,000 US per month, they're niggers. And as a result, that has created a big stir. And my question and my curiosity is, has Cambridge Analytica or any other company associated with them been active here in the Cayman Islands? Because they need to be called out. And if they were ever used in the Cayman Islands by any political party or any group whatsoever, I think they now need to reconsider using that particular company. Or well, Cambridge Analytica is no longer in existence. They went into administration, but there are obviously other offshoots of that company still around, and whether or not they have been used in the Cayman Islands. But we should also look at the use of outside political consultants here in the Cayman Islands, because many of you don't know that they exist. They come and they go, and they stay basically under the radar. But some of you are smart enough to know that when you start to get calls and people knock on your doors and say they represent this, they represent that something is up, as well. Mr. McLean, good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record. Any comments on my little diatribe there?
No, I have no comment on that. Morning, OC. I certainly didn't come here to discuss consultants because they're who they are. But good morning to you and the broader community, and I would like to extend condolences to Mario Rankin's family. Mm-hmm. Sad to have lost him. He is known very well throughout the country more importantly, as a plumber. Very good plumber, young guy. Got into the plumbing industry at a very young age. As a matter of fact, he must have been 16 or 17 when he plumbed my house.
Wow.
So, just around 15, 16, yeah. That is sad. So I send condolences to them. Yeah, good morning, O.C. It's has been quite an interesting week for you. I noted that you had the premiere on Monday, so I heard
Premier
you got,
and Deputy Premier.
Yeah, you got a little excited about that. It's not often you get the two of them together.
Yeah, that is the honest truth, yeah.
Yeah, but I listened to the Premier right around 8:30 when he took me to task, man.
Oh, yeah, he called you out by name.
Yeah. Well, I got something to tell Alden today. If that's how he feels about it. And in particular, he called me insincere. Well, I want the people of this country to know, and it was in particular about the dock, the cruise berthing facilities he was talking in that context. Mm-hmm. I want the people to know that I have never changed my position on the pair berthing facility. When this came up in 2003, around there, we started talking about it. And then in 2011, CG was in charge of it. I said to CG at the time, I had a meeting with CG, Klein that is, and I told CG that I did not support putting those passenger liners up against the shore in Georgetown. I supported putting a single pier out there, and then you turn it towards the Northwest Point. Once you reach the 40 foot, you turn it towards Northwest Point and put it in deeper water. And I supported putting putting a mega yacht basin as well. Mm-hmm. I just come off it. And CG and I had good discussions about it. CG then went off. And then Mose comes along, and I made the same suggestion to him. So the other day, Alden, on your radio station, said that I was insincere with my opposition to the dock. No, because up to the last day of our last meeting, he had discussed it with me, and I changed my mind since. No, I didn't change my mind. I told him then. He didn't relate the story to the country or the discussion to the country. Alan called me over by his position as where he sits as premier. And he said to me, Mose and Julia were there. And he said to me, Arden, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Always supported the dock and now signed motion for Cayman Brack and wouldn't get up and say anything. You signed motion with Ezard referendum. I said, Alden, I didn't get up in Cayman Brack. I was waiting for you to get up. And you wouldn't get up. So therefore, my side told me there was no need for me to speak. And I say, you cannot say that I should be ashamed of myself. I haven't changed my position. There is a case to be made for a port, but you and Mose has messed it up. I said, Mose, we asked you at least 4 times to have a presentation. Julia jumps in, and she says, well, if Mose will give you a presentation, now would you come? I said, well, what about the rest of my guys? They haven't answered that yet. By this time, Alden came out of the conversation, and the conversation continued with Mose and Julia. Mm-hmm. And I said that to Mose. I suppose you know that I told you that I would support a pier in deeper water, and I wasn't supporting one up against a dock, because my first question when this raised its head a long time ago was, you remember 2005 to 2009, Chucky wanted to do it out there too, but they were going to put the cargo down there by 7-Eleven. And the same thing I said to Chucky, not against the land, because it changes the whole landscape of this country. So Alden cannot say that I am insincere. Now I can show this morning who is insincere, and the people will decide whether it's me or Alden that is insincere.
Okay, we're going to hold on to that for a while. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with MLA Mr. Arden McLean will continue, so please stay tuned.
The Department of Children and Family Services would like to invite the community to a series of inspiring events recognizing the contributions of our senior citizens throughout October, the Older Persons Month. This year's theme is Respecting the Wisdom and Value of Older Persons. Key events include educational seminars, a beach walk, a variety show, gala, movie trip, and more across all 3 islands. For a full listing of events, get your copy of the Older Persons Month calendar at public buildings, DCFS at gov.ky, or contact DCFS at 949-0290.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're invited to participate in the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial 5K Walk Run starting at 6 a.m. The 5K and 10K Walk Run on Sunday, October the 14th at the 7 Mile Beach. Entry fee is $25 and participants can register online at www.caymanactive.com or the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Pink Shop in the Elizabethan Square, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Funds raised go towards paying for mammogram screenings. There will be trophies for runners and all participants are entered into the raffle following the event. Breast cancer survivors are also invited to attend the walk run. There will be special goodie bags for all survivors who attend.
You remember the sale at Vant Motors?
Yeah, the Your Sale, Your Choice. The one where you can get cash back or can put the savings to extend the warranty or upgrade features?
Yes, it's still going on. But now you can get $8,000 off a new Ford Ranger truck. $8,000, you know?
You for real?
Come see for yourself while they still have so much to choose from now through October. Save big during Your Sale, Your Choice at Vant Motors. With almost every vehicle on sale, you decide whether to get your dream ride at its lowest price. Take cash back. Add years to the warranty or service plan. Choose an add-on or mix your options. Your sale, your choice, because you know what you need, and Vant Motors will help you drive it home. Vant Motors on Walker's Road.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the historical vignette series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas. Tideman McCarrick Ebanks, 1884-1971. Mr. Ebanks, or Uncle Tidy, as many called him, was a devoted husband to his wife, Rosie Nee Scott, and father to their 9 children. He was one of the first in Northside to own a catboat, built by Dan Jervis of Cayman Brac, and a trap net. He was responsible for carrying the medical officer to Northside through the North Sound once a month. And he also transported a deceased person in the boat back to Northside. He built his own turtle trap and scenes for fishing. Uncle Tidy was the district constable. He walked the roads of Northside with his badge and baton, and no one ever challenged his authority or received favors. He also carried the mail to and from Frank Sound 3 times a week. He carried it on a mule, and one of his children would accompany him along the footpaths. He was a born-again Christian who was the pastor of Northside Church of God until his death.
Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
Cayman National wishes to remind its customers that their Elgin Avenue Customer Service Center will be open this Saturday, October 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the pinning and activation of chip MasterCards. Customers wishing to conduct any other banking transaction are asked to visit the Centennial and Countryside Customer Service Centers from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cayman National is here to serve you and thanks you for banking with them.
October 18th is International Credit Union Day, or ICU Day for short, celebrating 70 years of the credit union difference worldwide and 43 years here in the Cayman Islands. Stay tuned to learn more about the special ICU Day activities and offers in the coming days.
The Cayman Pharmacy Group provides you with more than just prescriptions. We strive to make your health our concern. We recognize the complexities of pharmaceuticals and the need to personalize your care. That is why we offer personalized one-on-one counseling. Our pharmacists are here to assist you with questions you may have about your health and the medications you've been prescribed. With West Bay Pharmacy and CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, the Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. We care about your health.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Can you explain what a less than container load is for shipment and what your minimum charge is?
Sure. A less than container load, or LCL, is any overseas shipment that does not require the full space of a container. At Seaboard, we have great rates for small packages. Just let us know the dimensions of your package and we'll help you out from there.
Shipping shore to shore,
A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square, enjoy a Broadway show, or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record, with your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA Mr. Arden McLean. Before I throw the mic back over to him, I just want to wish Miss Mandy Bernard a happy 97th birthday today. And this is coming from her children, Eleanor, John, Richard, and all the grandchildren and great-grandchildren as well. 97 years old, Miss Mandy Bernard. What a woman with a personality, always a smile on her face, always very, very friendly and welcoming, Miss Mandy. Happy birthday, Miss Mandy.
Happy birthday, Miss Mandy. See, we remember when England forced us to put the FFR in law. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember the cause of that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That was because of China Harbor, you know. McKeewa was in bed with China Harbor, and England, the leader of the opposition, who's now premier, fought, and myself, fought very hard to prevent China Harbor from coming into this country. You remember that, O.C.?
Mm-hmm.
England then required us to put in law the framework for fiscal responsibility. The framework for fiscal responsibility was primarily driven by the self-imposed rules that we had put on ourselves years ago. The only thing England added into it was there must be a business case for anything over $10 million. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing they added into it. It's just that it wasn't in law. It was a policy we had about the 10% repay and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, to control McKeewa, England insists that we put it in law. McKeever did not want to put it in law. He wanted to make amendments to it. And this is all factional. He brought it to the LA with some kind of amendment to it, and England recalled him and told him, no, you're not doing that. He then brought it back as England presented it. Okay? Which Alden and I supported. There was a lot of discussion on it. Heated one too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we hear now the papers say that Moose cleared China Harbor to bid earlier this year. In March, to bid on our dock now. The question is, why are we having China Harbor qualified to bid on our dock? The same dock that Alden objected to them building, why are we having them there now? And I'm going to show you how insincere Arden McLean is. Okay? On November the 14th, 2012, we debated the FFR going in the financial management law, amending that. Let me read a couple of things Alden said about China Harbor. Okay? And I'm reading from the Hansard now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to be able to do a portion because we have about 3 minutes, then we go to the news.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Neither local investors or those who look from afar can feel that they can confidently invest in Cayman, in a place where the financial accounting is a disaster, where no process is followed as far as procurement is concerned, where contracts are signed and broken on a whim, where government walks away from multi-million-dollar contracts saying there is no contract, and then the court says, hang on, Mr. Premier, you need to pay GLF $3 million. That, according to the Premier, even now, he denies there was any liability. Where, faced with all sorts of concerns by the Auditor General and by the opposition, by business people, by the FCO, by the minister, that's Bellingham at the time, the Premier persists on walking down the road. We are going to pursue negotiations with China Harbor Engineering Corporation, check, and I don't care who says so, no one is going to stop me. A company that has all sorts of reputational issues the world over. A company that never bid as part of the bid process. Cancelled the contract with GLF, terminated it, and spent 18 months, wasted 18 months, negotiating with China Harbor only to be forced by the UK to say, finally, last Tuesday night, that China Harbor deal is off the table and we are back to the drawing board. Let me read another piece for you. Let me read another piece for you.
Okay. How long
the world has changed. There has got to be a transparency and accountability, and government just can't carry on and decide it's going to give this contract to this one and that contract because you like that one, because that one has certain relations with so and so and so and so. There has to be a process which can be relied on by those who wish to participate in these projects. And when you don't follow the process, when you don't pay attention, when you ignore procedures, more likely than not, things are going to go off the rails and you are going to end up in the way and end in the way that just about every project this government has undertaken or spoken about has ended, which is an absolute total disaster. As November the 14th, 2012, now he has McKeever with him and he started courting Chinese, the China's embassy in England on June the 2nd, 2017. You know when election was? 24th of May, 2017, before the ink was dried on Alden's appointment, he was in the embassy, Chinese embassy in England.
Okay, are we going
and I suspect, I don't know if Mikiwa were with him, but that is the tie.
We're going to take a break for our 8 o'clock. We're going to take a break for our 8 o'clock news. When we return, more will continue with MLA, Mr. Arden McLean. So please stay tuned.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Price Right is 8 o'clock.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
Access to information.
Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A Northward prisoner is recovering today from smoke inhalation after setting a fire in his cell Thursday night. Government says the fire was small and was immediately put out by prison staff, but emergency services were called as a precaution. Fire crews confirmed the blaze had been extinguished and have launched an investigation into the incident. The prisoner who lit the fire was taken by ambulance to the hospital for examination as a result of smoke inhalation. The Deputy Premier and Tourism Minister, the Honourable Moses Kirkconnell, will provide a State of the Tourism Industry address to local stakeholders at the 2018 Annual Tourism Conference next week. The half-day conference takes place at the Westin Grand Cayman Resort and Spa on Tuesday. The keynote speaker is Marla Ducaran, a well-known thought leader on Caribbean economies. A day after issuing a statement to maintain neutrality on the cruise berthing procurement discussion, the Cayman Islands Tourism Association issues another statement explaining its stance. Radio Cayman's April Cummings reports.
The Cayman Islands Tourism Association says its board of directors is comprised of representatives of all of the association's tourism sectors. And with that in mind, the board says it cannot find nor take a singular stance on either side of the issue that truly represents a collective position of its members. CETA President Teresa Leacock-Broderick says the board's intent is to facilitate its members' access to information, as opposed to making a decision for that membership. Ms. Leacock-Broderick also says that CETA expects the environmental impact assessment and the outlined business case would both be updated specific to the successful bid proposal for consideration by Cabinet before any contract is executed. And if government is to remain consistent with its stated commitment to transparency, the updated documents will be shared with the public. The statement adds that CETA hopes the views of the constituency and the larger community of stakeholders will be taken into consideration before Cabinet makes a final decision. In the meantime, CETA is gathering questions to pose to government with the aim of assisting its members in their process of reaching an informed position. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
In other news,
try and keep a little white space between the blue and this ground colour just now.
Artist John Broad Wednesday night kicking off a series of new master classes at Art Nest Creative Studio, beginning with an acrylic painting class teaching participants how to recreate his well-known cyclist series.
Well, this is very structured. You can build it up step by step in a workshop, in a class, and people can follow along and they can do their own thing. They don't have to stick with my style or my colours or the way the cyclist looks. They can create their own.
Mr. Broad says his original series was inspired by a West Bay cyclist who he observed on his way to and from work many years ago. His next masterclass is October 17th and will feature a landscape piece depicting people playing dominoes by the ocean. You can find out more by visiting artnestcayman.com. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, who will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Justine Green. A Saudi delegation has arrived in the Turkish capital Istanbul to investigate the disappearance of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi. This comes amid reports that Turkey has graphic audio and video recordings proving that Jamal Khashoggi was killed inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. The U.S. Treasury Secretary says he plans to take part in a Saudi investment conference despite the disappearance of Mr. Khashoggi. Steve Mnuchin added that the decision might be revised if more information came out, but there have been a number of high-profile withdrawals from the event. Pope Francis has accepted the resignation of an American archbishop who has been accused of mishandling allegations of sexual abuse by Roman Catholic clergy. Cardinal Donald Weil, the Archbishop of Washington, was formerly a bishop in Pennsylvania, where a recent investigation revealed that more than 1,000 children were abused by priests over a period of 70 years. President Putin's spokesman had said Russia will protect the interests of Russian Orthodox Christians amid a row with Ukraine over steps to make the church there independent of Moscow. On Thursday, the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople reaffirmed a decision to allow Ukraine's church to split from the Moscow Patriarchate, something Russia fiercely opposes. BBC News.
Access. Information.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It is your time, Cayman Islands. Take advantage of this final in the series of the opposition's meetings on Cayman's cruise industry and get accurate information and sound analysis and have your say at the East End Civic Center on Monday, October 15. Get the facts and help keep Cayman's cruise industry bright. Is Cayman maintaining its competitive edge? Is docking more efficient and workable than tender service? What drives passenger satisfaction and return visits? Join the opposition for the final in the series of island-wide meetings on Monday, October 15th at the East End Civic Center at 7:30 p.m. It is your time, Cayman Islands. Your time to have your say. The opposition, safeguarding our future.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're invited to participate in the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial 5K Walk Run starting at 6 a.m. The 5K and 10K Walk Run on Sunday, October the 14th at the 7 Mile Beach. Entry fee is $25 and participants can register online at www.caymanactive.com or the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Pink Shop in the Elizabethan Square, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Funds raised go towards paying for mammogram screenings. There will be trophies for runners and all participants are entered into the raffle following the event. Breast cancer survivors are also invited to attend the walk run. There will be special goodie bags for all survivors who attend.
The NCVO needs your help. Tune in to the annual radio telethon on Saturday, October 20th at 7 p.m. for the best in local entertainment, including C&B, Trinity, Little Magic, Roy Barton, and High Tide. Call in to pledge any amount or donate online at CaymanGiftCertificates.com to be entered to win over $5,000 worth of prizes. The NCVO's annual radio telethon is broadcasted live from Prospect Playhouse on Radio Cayman and Cayman 27. The NCVO is one of Cayman's oldest charities dedicated to the care, education, and well-being of children and families in need of support. Tune in to Radio Cayman and please help us help our children. The annual Radio Telethon, Saturday, October 20th, 7 p.m. to midnight, live from Prospect Playhouse.
Calling Caymanians and local businesses. Green iguanas are out of control. Can you cull 400 of them a month? Maybe more?
If you can, bring proof you're Caymanian or your business license to the Department of Environment the week of October 15th and register for the Green Iguana Cull.
Bring your firearms license too if you're going to use it.
Registration is Monday through Friday evening, 4:30 to 7:30 p.m.
Remember, blues belong, but greens got to go.
In financial news, global stock indexes rose today after their recent sharp declines on hopes that U.S. President Donald Trump and his Chinese counterpart will meet at the Group of 20 summit next month. CAC's 40 in France was up 0.6% to 5,139, while the DAX in Germany added half a percentage point to 11,602. Britain's FTSE 100 was 0.8% higher at 7,063. Japan's Nikkei 225 index gained 0.5% to 22,694 after sinking early in the day and following a nearly 4% loss on Thursday. Australia's S&P ASX 200 rose 0.2% to 5,895. Hong Kong's Hang Seng surged 2.1% to 25,801, and the Shanghai Composite Index advanced almost a full percentage point to 2,606. Wall Street is set for an optimistic open after 2 days of steep losses. S&P 500 futures gained 1% to 2,774. Dow futures rose 0.9% to 25,419. In energy, U.S. crude oil added 62 cents to 71.59. The contract dropped 3% to close at 70.97 in New York. Brent crude, the international standard, was up 44 cents at $80.70. It dropped 3.4% to $80.26 in London. And in currencies, the dollar strengthened to 112.28 yen from 112.13 yen late Thursday. The euro edged down 1.1584 from 1.1586.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating.
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
The NCVO needs your help. Tune in to the annual radio telethon on Saturday, October 20th at 7 p.m. for the best in local entertainment, including C&B, Trinity, Little Magic, Roy Barton, and High Tide. Call in to pledge any amount or donate online at CaymanGiftCertificates.com to be entered to win over $5,000 worth of prizes. The NCVO's annual radio telethon is broadcasted live from Prospect Playhouse on Radio Cayman and Cayman 27. The NCVO is one of Cayman's oldest charities dedicated to the care, education, and well-being of children and families in need of support. Tune in to Radio Cayman and please help us help our children. The annual Radio Telethon, Saturday, October 20th, 7 p.m. to midnight, live from Prospect Playhouse.
The Tuesday edition of The Business Buzz is brought to you by Grape Tree Cafe. Located in Buddentown, Grape Tree Cafe is a favorite among locals and visitors alike, serving up delicious Caribbean delights such as fried fish and fritters, fried breadfruit, and chicharron, to name a few. Grape Tree Cafe has a reputation for good service, tasty dishes, and generous servings. Telephone 324-5860.
Your weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Pleasant good morning. Time now for the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 96%. Barometric pressure 29.87 inches and rising. Winds are calm. Overnight low temperature was 77 degrees. Synopsis indicate a slack pressure gradient across the Caribbean will support light winds and seas across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours. Isolated showers are also expected today as a surface trough lingers over the southwest Caribbean, with associated showers occasionally drifting across the area. Radar images show scattered showers mainly north of the Cayman area drifting towards the southwest. The forecast for the Cayman Islands today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 40% chance of morning showers and 30% chance of showers and possible thunder for tonight. In the upper 80s and fall to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide will be this morning at 11:54, low tide this evening at 4 minutes past 6, and a high tide again tonight at 11:23. The sun will set this evening at 3 minutes past 6 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:18. And the outlook is calling for partly cloudy skies along with light to moderate winds and seas through Sunday morning, as showers associated with the surface trough lingers mainly over the southwest Caribbean.
Weather update after 8 is brought to you by Brand Source Home Gallery, creating elegant bathrooms with European-style fixtures and fittings.
Babe, not tonight. I need to be rested for all-day meetings tomorrow.
What are you talking about? I was almost asleep.
You keep poking me, and I can't sleep.
That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about. Not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like Pillow Top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Good morning once again, and time now to take a look what's happening on our roads. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic moving along steadily heading to Georgetown, and from Georgetown heading to West Bay. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate, and a moderate flow of traffic on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, and light to moderate traffic in and out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, and steady bit flowing traffic on Crew Road and some sections moderate, and steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, Huldah Avenue, moderate flow of traffic on Elgin Avenue as well as on Thomas Russell Avenue, and traffic flowing light to moderate from the West Bay 4-way stop, and moderate flow of traffic on North Sound Road. That's what's happening on your roads, and also little steady traffic on Shamrock Road and the Linford Payson Highway. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll update you on what's happening traffic-wise. Have a good morning and buckle up.
Cayman's cruise industry must be preserved and developed. It is a myth that the cruise lines will continue to call on Cayman at the rate they do now without the piers. It is a fact that the mega-class ships will not be tendered. Arrivals will decline by half over time as the older ships are decommissioned. This will hurt our economy and thousands of Caymanians who work in this industry. If we want to continue providing opportunities for Caymanians, we need the piers. Support the piers. Support our tourism.
In local sports, hit the pavement to raise money for breast cancer this weekend. Starting at 6 a.m. on Sunday, runners and walkers are invited to participate in the 7-mile beach version of this year's Brenda Tibbetts Lund 5 10K walk run. The event is hosted by the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens. The cost is $25 for adults and $10 for kids 8 to 12. Funds raised this year will pay for mammogram screening and provide assistance to breast cancer patients. Register online at CaymanActive.com/registrations, and then subject to availability, you're able to collect your T-shirts and gift bags from the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens Pink Shop in Elizabethan Square. Runners will be officially timed to give participants their individual times for completing the course. Walkers won't be timed. Age group winners in the run will receive first, second, and third place trophies. The 7-mile beach 10K route is from SBM Public Beach to the Wharf Restaurant and back. The 5K version takes participants to Hemingway's and back. Learn more at lctgbreastcancerawareness.com. The North Side version of the event was held on October 6th. And in international sports, Lock Joe Launchbury will miss England's rugby tests next month after knee surgery, which rules him out for up to 12 weeks. His Wasps club made a brief announcement on Twitter today without elaborating. Launchbury injured his knee playing for Wasps on September 16th in the English Premiership and hasn't played since. At the time, scans showed no structural damage, but he had been receiving injections to ease the swelling.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go.
Meet the world with Puritan Cleaners. They are here for you and me. Best cleaners you will see. Happy 60th anniversary to Puritan. Puritan, now using the most popular and eco-friendly cleaning solvents. Take advantage of our ongoing discounts on all men and women's apparel. Ask about other discounts. 4 convenient locations to serve you. Savannah Countryside, Elgin Avenue, Georgetown, Centennial Towers, West Bay, Eastern Avenue, Georgetown. Drive-through, rain or shine. Free pickup and delivery. Call Puritan Cleaners 949-7104. You feel good when you look good.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, MLA Mr. Arden McLean, and we had to interrupt him to go to the news, so I'm going to pass the mic back over to him for him to continue. He's now addressing the Premier's statement on For the Record on Monday, when the Premier expressed the fact that he felt that Mr. McLean was being insincere in his opposition to the birthing facility.
Well, he didn't say insincere to in the opposition. He said I was insincere. You know, by and politicizing it and looking political points, so to speak.
Okay.
Well, listen to me, O.C. I said that he visited the embassy in June of 2017. It was February 2017, because it was him and Wayne Patton. It was February 2017 that he was courting them up there after beating them up 6 years ago, okay? And assisting with stopping China Harbor from bidding. Now I know what they're going to say. Their retort is going to be, well, they qualified. Well, that's why you pre-qualify bidders, so you can eliminate them. Eliminate China Harbor. Everybody else is eliminating them. America, England, World Bank refuses to finance anything that China Harbor is building. And every day we see more and more about their reputation that Arden was so concerned about in 2012. Now the question the people of this country needs to ask is, why has Arden changed direction when it comes to China Harbor if they were so bad in 2012? They were the worst thing ever happened to this country. And compare that with him calling me insincere, and I have been the one consistent voice on that dock. You see, Falden, O.C., when he does it, it's okay. When anyone else opposes any of his ideas or proposals, then it's politicizing it and trying to kill the country. He knows best, you see. But McKeever didn't know best. And he was fighting on behalf of this country in 2012 to stop China Harbor. And I fought alongside him with it. Now he needs to tell the people of this country, the next time you get excited and get him on the radio.
What do you mean? Explain this. But
I
get excited with everybody that I have on here as my guest.
Because they don't come on that often. You call him again and invite him. Tell him.
No, I don't. I don't invite them on. No. They decide. They send their schedule and they say which ministry who's going to be on. So they have a standing order, just like you, the opposition does.
And you call
No, you all send me a schedule and tell me who's going to be appearing on particular. As a matter of fact, you send me a monthly schedule for the whole month, telling me who's going to be there. So,
and then
let's not go there. Let's not go there.
When things go off the rail with that schedule, you'll call OC to find out who's coming.
Who's coming? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. But I don't tell you who should come.
No, you don't. Okay. You don't. So I'm saying to you now, invite him and tell him to explain to this country why he has China Harbor now as one of the 3 last bidders on the dock that is going to cost over $200 million.
Okay, now
that needs to be explained by him, not by me.
Yeah. Okay. Question: what do you say to those people who say, while China Harbor Engineering Company, check, is Chinese, all Chinese business is not China Harbor Engineering Company? So when the Premier has visited their embassy and gone to seek Chinese investment or to encourage Chinese investment, that is not restricted and related only to China Harbor Engineering
Absolutely
Company.
Not. You got China back here.
Yeah.
You got China back here.
Okay.
But I am saying he so ferociously fought against China Harbor being a part of the building of the piers when McKeever was the premier. And now he's the premier and the people are angry about building it out there. Why is he now treating them the way he is treating them? That's my question. So when he says I'm sincere.
I think it's a legitimate question.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When he says I'm insincere, we should also look at his record because my record stands. His does not. You fought against a particular company coming in this country. You are now premier.
What you mean is your record is consistent and his is not consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My record stands on consistency. His does not. Because he fought against them when he became premier. He's got them bidding on the same thing he fought against them for. How does that work? Mm-hmm. Anyway, OC.
We have one caller. Can we take the call, or you want to go on?
I just wanted to briefly.
Go ahead.
When I proposed putting it in deeper water, I didn't know anyone else was thinking along those lines. As a matter of fact, this government has hid every report that the area engineering report they got on it. Okay? And one of the proposals by Baird and Associates, who was their engineer, I understand they have changed them, maybe they're not doing what they want them to do. One of their proposals was to put the same thing that I had proposed years ago in deeper water. This government presented that to the cruise liners, and they rejected it. Now, what does they have to do with our peers? Huh? So we are catering to them. And see, I'm not making this up. This is in the report. It says that they rejected it. You got to remember now, I only got this report recently. But they rejected it. So who is building what and for whom? Now, if they're going to give us the dock and we send them a proposal and they reject that, then that's a different matter. But if we're paying for it and you hear more say we're not paying for it, so this, the money that we get off them now, that goes to finance it. We're not paying for it. The money we get off the tourists now, the passenger liners, part of that go to the environmental fund and pay for the dock and stuff. So are we still going to have that money? Where are we going? Who's going to pay for this dock? It is us. It is us, OC. And government needs to stop with all this caremongering. They are hearing that again this morning, saying that there's 400 to 500 employees, Caymanians employed in that industry. When the report from Brea said that it job employment is 400 to 600, 400 to 500, call it that. But we know plenty of work permit in that. Okay? Those are not all Caymanians.
So it says Caymanians as opposed to...
That's what I'd say is Caymanians.
Okay.
They need to stop. Alden them need to stop scaremongering, stop threatening Caymanian people, like how they're threatening them with the referendum. We'll talk about that too. You want to go to that
we're going to take the caller. We lost the sound here for some... Oh, there we go. We're back. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Orrett. How you doing? Morning.
Hey, morning. How are you?
Good. This is Elvis. Morning, my brother from East Stand up there.
How you doing, old cuz?
All right, man. I listen to you. You see, what happened? You got one of the good breeds of Cayman. They just buried him a months ago now outside. Mr. Bo Miller.
Bobo.
Yeah, the people rejected him at the poll, Over and often. Cayman, we don't want for some reason certain people, we don't want the advice. You see, you know why people like China Harbor and different companies can come in here? When that gentleman said that the people, you got millionaires in Cayman and making money every day, the people in the Cayman Island could unite and build that dock that don't care how long it takes to pay for, it coming back in the hands of Caymanians.
That's right.
But for some reason, we can't do that. I listened to one of the smartest men in the Cayman Islands, Dr. Steve McField. He said when he tried to get about 12 or 13 Cayman lawyers together to form a thing that they could control the laws and think, we're talking about overseas law. Like, I'm not a lawyer, but I listen. They would not unite. The problem is, look here, when the cat away, the rat can play. The Cayman people from the poor people, when the millionaires can't unite. The lawyers can't unite. Brethren, we are in a lot of trouble. So I don't know who's going to build the dock or if it's going to be built. But what we need in this country is unity in high and low places and try to teach our children some manners and respect. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, caller, for that.
Always.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with MLA, Mr. Arden McLean, will continue, so please stay tuned.
Oh, my acid reflux is killing me.
Why don't you get something from the grocery store?
I need something better than any generic quick fix.
You should go to West Bay Pharmacy and have a brief consultation with the pharmacist. I went in last week and within minutes I was back in the car and on the road. And you know what? No more acid reflux.
How long did it take you?
Minutes. Here, give them a call at 945-0777.
West Bay Pharmacy is just around the corner with everything you need in the hours you need it. Visit us today for fast, efficient, and professional service. We are here as a team to assist you while taking care of your health. Call us today or visit our website at CaymanPharmacy.com.
You remember the sale at Vant Motors?
Yeah, the Your Sale, Your Choice, the one where you can get cash back or can put the savings to extend the warranty or upgrade features?
Yes, it's still going on, but now you can get $8,000 off a new Ford Ranger truck. $8,000, you know?
You for real?
Come see for yourself while they still have so much to choose from now through October. Save big during Your Sale, Your Choice at Vant Motors. With almost every vehicle on sale, you decide whether to get your dream ride at its lowest price. Take cash back. Add years to the warranty or service plan. Choose an add-on or mix your options. Your sale, your choice, because you know what you need, and Vant Motors will help you drive it home. Vant Motors on Walkers Road.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Attention, all culinary specialists. The Pirates Peak Festival is calling all skilled food vendors to participate in its downtown food courts on Friday, November 9th, Saturday, November 10th, and Monday, November 12th. Register today by calling 949-5078. Remember, only biodegradable packaging is permitted in the food courts as part of the Pirates Against Plastic campaign. Let's reduce our use of single-use plastic and celebrate the seas together. Only a few spots remain, so get registered today for the Pirates Week Festival food courts, sponsored by Pepsi, the Tourism Attraction Board, and Radio Cayman.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after,
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after,
visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
BritK, where people come first.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you.
This October at Kirk Home Center, get grilling with a smokeless grill for $56.49. Save on power tools with Milwaukee's 2-tool combo kits, complete with contractor bags starting at $235.59. Hang fresh pressed clothes or dry clothes on a garment rack for $27.99 and store away items in an 18-gallon storage tote for $9.69.
Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record, with your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, MLA Mr. Arden McLean. We're discussing the cruise berthing facility. We're discussing the Premier's statement in regards to Mr. McLean on Monday, For the Record, and he's responding. I want to stay in the same direction but change the tone a little bit. You've been having the meetings in the various districts. We have heard people express the fact that some of them are confused. They're not sure which way they want to go with this. They're confused about the whole idea of a referendum, what the results of a referendum will be, what is the intention of a referendum. There are those who say that the referendum proponents, that their intention is to stop the cruise berthing facility. How do we get away from the personality issues and we get back to addressing those persons who are a key part of this whole process and essential to the process? They are the voters of this country. Now, my early comments in relation to the Barbados situation and the Cambridge Analytica, the use of the N-word by the executive there was no accident, because I wanted to relate it to the conversation that I knew we would be having this morning. And I just want to say that this lady, Lucille Moe, who was a consultant at that time to Mia Mottley's party, she is now a minister for information in the Mia Mottley government. She was appointed as a senator. But in this article that was written in The Guardian, and the author of that article was Katrina Marshall, she points to some of Miss Moe's accomplishments. And she says Moe has earned her stripes creating election victories in St. Kitts and Nevis in 2015, Antigua 2004, 2014, the Cayman Islands 2017, Grenada 2018, Dominica 2014, St. Lucia 2016, and Barbados 1994, 1999, 2003, and 2018. Caribbean politics, a brutal game, and women get away with far less than men when they enter public life, making it difficult to attract female candidates. So, again, to point out that there are political operatives that are used
What's her name?
for use.
What's her name?
Lucille Moe, LucilleMoe. She's now she's a member of the Barbados Senate, and she's a minister for information in the Mia Mottley's government.
Well, let me say, I don't know her. Mm-hmm. And I know most of the consultants throughout the Caribbean.
Well, 2017, they said she was
so it had to
successful. So it would have been with this successful party.
Must have been PPM.
Yeah,
must have been PPM. I don't know, because it wasn't us, the independent, and it might have been McKeeva as well.
But I want to get to the use of political operatives, and how they can, how they can stir things up, because they're not necessarily on a completely ethical footing when they approach these things. How do we ensure that the voting public, those persons that you want to vote for the referendum, and there will be some who will say don't vote at all, because if you don't vote, then you still count to the extent that you have to get 50% plus one of those persons who are registered, not voting in a people's initiated referendum. But how do we get the relevant information, the facts out to the public, so that those people who are saying we're confused, we don't know which way to go, we don't understand. You don't want people going into a voting booth and not understanding. You don't want people going into a voting booth who are being influenced by outside forces who we pay these exorbitant fees to come in to tell us how to approach our own electorate.
Well, politics is an art, It can be applied to science as well. What you do is cater to people's conscience, and that's what consultants do. You first thing you do is try to find out what bothers them, and you play to that tune. It may be, you may say, oh well, it's the economy, but when you go and ask those people, they probably say that they won't allow us fishing rights or something. So it's a science and it's an art form. And that's what consultants do. And they know how to put that out there to reach people, and politicians follow that. In the case of this referendum, and I should say right now that my meeting, the East End meeting, is Monday night at 7:30 at the Civic Center, and I'm inviting everybody
15th
to
of
come.
October,
Yeah. Now, see, what is going to happen? This is usually what happens even in elections. When one side does not give the proper information for the people to make decisions. What we are doing, the opposition, is what we are doing right now is based on the information we have gathered, because we know no more than the government, than the public out there, They have kept this under covers, Mose and Alden. They refuse even to give it to us, really, give information to us. They promised to lay papers up in Cayman. They haven't laid them as yet. That's what we're faced with. So when there is an unknown, people turn to what is their best tool. And right now their tool is a referendum to stop that dog. Okay? But there are other people out there, such as myself, who don't necessarily I want to stop it as design. As design, and Alden is right with that one. As they are designing it, I am going to vote to stop that. But that's not to say that I will not entertain a dock develop in a different manner so the environment does not get as damaged.
But how do you achieve that in your present position? How do you achieve that when there are others who, and I use this cautiously, who are associated with you, who oppose it altogether? How do you achieve your end?
But listen, I just said, OC, in politics, when people do not have the information, they turn to what they know. Okay? I'm the same thing. And what I know right now is we need to stop that dock as it is designed. And there are others who want to stop it, period. That's what they know. There are others who don't want to stop it. That's their choice. Everybody has a choice. They for different reasons. I heard Alden saying that environmental, they don't like Alden, the this, the that, whatever. I look at it from a pragmatic perspective, okay? There is a case to be made for a dog, but it is not being made in the best interest of the people or of this country, and in particular, the environment that we have out there. And I must admit to you, OC, in this country, I don't dive. Saddles, I've always said saddles were made for horses, so I don't put them on my back. I must admit, whether through my ignorance or lack of knowledge, I don't know, that I didn't know what was out there in Georgetown Harbor. I always thought that entire area was destroyed by those anchors. There is only a part of it because now there has been two different individuals showing it. So one individual on the 26th of September showed right down the middle where those anchors are, which is true, there's nothing there. Oh, see, I've been on those ships. I've been an engineer for a long time ago, for a very long time in my young life. And when you put that, 5-8 shekels down there, and that boat is swinging, it is going to destroy whatever it comes across. I mean, one of those links are probably about 1,000 pounds. So it's going to destroy it. So that has been destroyed. But then we are so unique. This country is so unique. There's not another harbor in this world that you can get off a passenger liner and less than quarter mile on either side of it, you can dive. Mm-hmm. There is something unique about that. There are three things that we have revered in this country that we protect with our lives. And we say this is why tourists come to us. From the 60s, from the 50s. 1, 7 Mile Beach. 2, the people of the Cayman Islands. and 3 are on the water. No, not everybody got have it in their order. That's not necessarily the order that I just naming them. But there are 3 things. And here we are with the potential of all that dredging, the potential to destroy 2 famous dive sites that attracts these tourists, whether they're by night, they're by day, or they're by land. And just to get a couple larger ships, we are unique. What people seems to forget is that we are geographically very well placed in this on this earth. Coming from Cozumel, you overnight and you can reach Grand Cayman. Coming from Miami overnight and you reach Grand Cayman. There is no other place for them to stop. We need to determine the narrative here. Like I told you, Baird proposed putting it in the deep water, and the Passenger Liners Association said they don't want it. And Moose acquiesced to them and come and put it up against the shore. That's not how this thing works. If you're paying for it and you're giving it to the Cayman Islands, you can determine how it works. We are paying for this. And you see, people on this referendum, the referendum, those young people out there doing that referendum, we'll see. This is the petition. This is not the referendum. Okay? People are afraid. People are confused. What I can say to people is this petition is not a vote for or against. Even if you're going to vote for the dock, those that you just talked about, even if you're for the dock, this is your opportunity to exercise that right to express your support for the dock when the referendum comes.
Okay, we have to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue with MLA, Mr. Arden McLean.
Are you kidding me?
What's wrong?
I ran out of my meds and I have an interview in about an hour.
Why not call CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy? They'll be able to help.
You think so?
Absolutely. Their pharmacists are brilliant for fast, efficient and professional service.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. We strive to make your health our concern. We recognize the complexities of pharmaceuticals and the need to personalize your care. That is why we offer personalized one-on-one counseling. Call us today or visit our website at caymanpharmacy.com.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Can you explain what a less than container load is for shipment and what your minimum charge is?
Sure. A less than container load, or LCL, is any overseas shipment that does not require the full space of a container. At Seaboard, we have great rates for small packages. Just let us know the dimensions of your package and we'll help you out from there.
Shipping shore to shore,
Sometimes things just don't go as planned. That's why you need Contractors All Risk Insurance from Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Ensure you're covered in the event of property damage and third-party injury or damage claims during your construction projects. And with Fidelity Insurance Brokers, you can be sure you are getting competitive pricing and superior customer service. Call us today for a free quote. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Cruise tourism is a vital part of Cayman's economy. It is the government's responsibility to create an environment where our people can have an opportunity to grow and prosper today, tomorrow, and into the future. It is a myth that Cayman does not need cruise tourism. It is a fact that cruise passengers spend $200 million per year buying services from small businesses, tour operators, attractions, restaurants, and retail shops. Those funds stay right here, supporting our economy and communities. Support the pairs. Support our tourism.
A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square, enjoy a Broadway show, or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA Mr. Arden McLean. Before we went to the commercial break, you were talking about the referendum itself. Now, again, we keep hearing the argument that the referendum is not for or against.
The petition.
The petition is not against the port.
For or against.
Yeah.
The petition is to be able to get a referendum to exercise your democratic right and to participate in what is the government is doing.
But that referendum could determine whether or not the port goes forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
or does not go forward.
Or does
also.
not go forward,
Okay.
or there are one of three results that you're going to get out of a referendum of this nature, depending on the wording of the question.
Mm-hmm.
It normally would say yes or no. So it's for or against. Like I told you last time, if I was wording the question, I would say, do you support the pier being built as proposed? Now, that leaves you room to still build it out there, but in a different fashion. And then you go and campaign on that question.
Right.
To win people and say, if this doesn't work, we got to put it elsewhere, out there, but, because we can't put it in North Town, we can't put it right B. So then it's yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest one, the biggest hurdle that needs to be jumped is whether or not, one, the people come out, two, 50% plus one of the total registered voters. Now, that is why it's binding on the government, if that's in an affirmative. If 50% plus one of the registered electors say no, you can appreciate that's a lot of people. That's over 10,000 people have voted, in the negative, That's half of the electorate of this country.
But remember, it's those registered. So
it's half of the electors.
Registered electors.
If you're not registered, you're not an elector.
Yeah, but you got to get out there. If you can be registered and not
you're
vote,
eligible to be an elector.
If you're registered as an elector, then you count. You're into that 50 plus 1% that needs to be gotten.
But I just said that means you're 10,000, over 10,000 of the electors in this country
can stay home and kill it and kill it.
Negative.
Yes.
It's negative because they didn't turn up.
Right.
You didn't get over the hurdle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why the government is so against the people exercising their rights.
Well, the government has said, the time that it's going to take, and some have said, whether correctly or incorrectly, the costs associated with it.
What was I said to you earlier this morning?
What has been said.
What was I said to you earlier this morning, Nosy?
You said many things.
When it's convenient for Alden, it is the right thing to do. When it's not, and it's his idea and you oppose it, then that's the worst thing you could ever do when he called you insincere, disingenuous, politicizing.
But you agree that that's the nature of politics?
Yeah, but he mustn't say people insincere when he the one who turned 180 degrees. He mustn't say that.
And it's your responsibility to show him, to point out to the public.
And I hope I was talking to
the
him
case.
this morning with that. He got to explain that to the people. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, OC, Alden is one of the biggest proponents of a referendum. He and I insisted we put it in the Constitution. You remember that, OC?
Mm-hmm.
He insisted, along with all us, that we take the referendum to the people at election time. We went out, we campaigned for it. Try remember.
Yeah.
We voted,
but he didn't say,
voted in one booth.
You didn't say a referendum for everything. That is why the Constitution states in there that matters of national importance.
We can't have a referendum here on Friday evening.
Let's grab a caller.
This is a matter of national importance.
Yeah, let's take a caller. Let's hear their view. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
MLA, Mr. Arden McLean, there is always good to hear him on, as he said, sort of pragmatic approach. Probably the best for his type of politics, if you want to say it that way.
That's
but
that
then that
engineering
is what
thing
they
in
are.
Mail, boy.
Yes, it's more practical. I understand. I like engineering myself, though I didn't practice it as a living that way. But and I understand where you're coming from a lot, what you're saying. What Mr. Owens, and I want to congratulate you, Mr. Owens, for having had the Honorable Premier and Honorable Deputy Premier on. It was very, very enlightening to listen to them.
It wasn't him.
I was going to just say to you that was on my invite, according to
he said it wasn't him, Mickey.
Yes, if not, even though it fell still on your show, and it was very enlightening and very important.
Yeah, sure, it is at all times.
I've often said this over and over, and I'm glad you spoke about what is the wording, because what I'm hearing from people, and I'm not going around as any politically motivated, because I like to stand aside. People, I'm afraid a lot of people don't understand the importance or the non-importance of a referendum. But to get what is it supposed to be about? And alas, I agree with you, a lot of people are confused what this referendum is really trying to achieve because of the wording, because of what they're hearing, because let us face facts, it has become very political. I don't hear what anyone wants to say. It has become very political.
Sure, Mickey, if I may, just briefly, it is politics. This is what it is. Alden, they made their decision from a political stance as to build that dock in that position. And yes, I am opposing it from a political stance. It has become very political, but that's what we're in. That's the business. That's the nature of the business that we're in.
Yeah,
we're not in church.
Go ahead, sir.
I understand all that. But what I'm trying to say is that the people, we had a referendum when we had the general election. And what you just made an important point here when we see it, are we going to hold a referendum for everything? The premier, as the head of government, I guess let's call it our government, because in truth, it's probably Her Majesty's government, since we swear allegiance to Her Majesty. So, but let us call it our government then. They have a right to bring about important decisions to the rest of the elected representatives and see if it gets their yea or nay on any issues, on important issues. Because if we're going to hold a referendum on everything, the people would be at all times involved in politics, and politics is divisive. When you're getting to the stage where you're going to have a vote on something, we know we see that election time where even good friends stop speaking to each other for a while. And is this divisiveness necessary at this time? But I do think, and I hear people throwing in this thing about the money that you're taking from the people. Let us think, in 20 years of the mandatory, and I repeat the word mandatory because it's a very serious word, pension, have we sent away enough money to build 4 piers?
Caller, we have to go to our 9 o'clock news. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have that obligation to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Please stay tuned, folks. I want to thank you very much, caller, for that, sir, for the interruption. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's newsroom. Headline. These are the biggest stories right now.
Story hounds of all ages are invited to some very special book readings this weekend by young actors involved in the K-Stage acting classes. Revolting Rhymes will be read at 11 a.m. and Cat in the Hat at 11:30 at the Georgetown Public Library. The Gruffalo will be read at 2 p.m. at Books and Books. Turkish officials have audio and video evidence that shows missing Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi was tortured and killed inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Mr. Khashoggi, a critic of the Saudi government, has not been seen since he entered the building on October 2nd. A source close to the investigation says Turkish intelligence had, quote, documented evidence of the murder. Saudi Arabia denies the allegation, saying the journalist left the building. And a new study shows that doctors' use of cesarean sections to deliver babies has nearly doubled in 15 years to reach, quote, alarming proportions. Rates surged from about 60 million births, that's about 12% in 2000, to an estimated 21% in 2015. The nation with the highest rate for using surgery to assist childbirth is the Dominican Republic, with 58%. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Do we have another caller, Miss Susan? We have 2 callers as well. Before we go to those 2 callers, very, very quickly, we're talking about referendum, and we heard one caller and Mr. McLean also speak to the fact that the question is going to be important as well. What we don't have here in the Cayman Islands is that, and this is something that you and Mr. Miller have called for, an election commission. And an election commission can set guidelines in terms of what is done during an election. We have to then rely on international best practice otherwise. Now, the Electoral Commission in the United Kingdom, for instance, talks about a referendum question. And they point out that a referendum question must, 1, be easy to understand, right? 2, be to the point, something that our people need to understand sometimes, get to the point. 3, be unambiguous, okay? And avoid encouraging voters to consider one response more favorably than another, and it must also avoid misleading voters. Unfortunately, like I said, we do not have an electoral commission here. We have no guidelines whatsoever in terms of referendum and the referendum question. And unless you take it in and you incorporate it into the referendum law that has to be passed specifically for this referendum, if you get the sufficient number of signatures, unless you incorporate something like this into it, there's going to be back and forth. And the same debate that you're having out there now, and the same anguish and animosity that we're having now in relation to the prayer birthing facilities, we're going to have over the question. Because who has control over the question?
Remember when we did this. Remember when we did this. And we need to look at this thing from a practical perspective. When we did this in 2007, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that region, in that time frame, we didn't have a commission then. We don't have one now for elections. So,
which include referendum.
So the only authority we had was the cabinet. So we put it there at the feet of cabinet. Now, I have fought. I've advocated for reform.
I said that.
Yeah, for years, all my life. For a commission, and I've advocated for reform for the registration of our people and all that kind of stuff. It shouldn't be what it is now. But anyway, we'll get to that. So at the time when we get to that point where we can agree on a commission, we will just have to go back and amend the Constitution and put all anything to do with elections and referendums. We'll just have to go and put it under the law. Under a commission.
Okay, let's take these two callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Thanks for being so patient.
Good morning, gentlemen. I heard when basically we were saying about referendum, not for everything. But I think that one of the single most biggest undertaking that this country is making is to stop.
No question.
Anything over $200 million, I think that we as the public needs to have some say in it.
Mm-hmm. No question.
I am a bit taken back though, because as I listen to the tune, let me just rewind a little bit here. As I read a couple of articles suggesting the premier is saying that the people gave him a mandate by what I don't know, because if I could understand, and I would never support if the government was made up of everyone PPM, and they had written the majority and had formed government, then you could say yes, the people, because they campaigned on that and the people gave them a mandate. But I am not no accountant, I'm not no big time scholar, but I got common sense. If you look at the makeup, it would tell me that the PPM have about 30% of the persons in the assembly.
Yeah. I've seen some number crunching. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So can nobody come and tell me? And the premier, nobody said not going to tell me, because that's when I turn arrogant. Did I give him any mandate, good, and billing it up?
But if I may, old boy, we keep throwing this word, we got mandate or we not got mandate. If the party wins in majority, and they were out there campaigning, we're going to build a cruise berthing facility. We need it because of blah, 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 blah. And the public elect them in mass. They have a mandate to build a cruise facility, but not in the way they want, not in a manner that will destroy the environment. That's when the people step in and say, no, we gave you a mandate, build a pier, but not in the manner that you're doing it. And that is what we're doing now.
Go ahead, caller.
Exactly. And the other thing about it is, my argument has ever been, I support that there needs to be some kind of birthing facility. I support that. However, if you're telling me that Georgetown Harbor is the ideal place for it, and all the various studies that have been completed is suggesting not, and you're hiding these studies, if you're going to be out there promoting this thing, you should be saying, well, I got documentation, proof, man. Here, Mr. Public, come and look at it. This But you can't show me that because it's something untoward. Because the studies that have been shown shows something completely different than what you're trying to tell us as the public. And that is where I have real concern. And if you're going to build something because it's going to benefit a certain amount of individuals and then destroy, especially my major concern is 7 Mile Beach. Because if you destroy that, I can tell you what, you hear about dog eat or supper, that's exactly what's going to happen. So I could go on and rant all day about this because the government is not being honest. They're not being forthcoming with what the true ramifications of this is. And they need to come and tell us, the people. And that's why I take pleasure in signing the document suggesting for a referendum. So I'll leave that, OC. But, I mean, they got to come on and tell us the truth, man. Stop telling us lies. Just tell us the truth.
Thank you very much, Caller, for that very balanced
and I just want to comment one thing on
very
that.
Quickly,
when he said building for select few or something, I don't want to get that in that area of it. But what I can confirm, agree with that caller with, the government is not being forthcoming with all the information. And that is what is necessary. Okay. And the process that they're going through, you see CETA just came up with a letter saying that they're neutral.
Right, because they represent both sides.
2015, they were neutral.
Cruise tourism and land tourism.
2015, they were neutral. I can show that to you.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, OC, is you cannot stay one way or the other. You have to be one way or the other. And these guys now are saying the process is after the preferred bidder has been chosen, then you go back over the EIA. Come on, and business case. Come on, OC. We need to decide what we want and put that out there to tender to be built.
Mm-hmm. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning again, gentlemen.
Good morning again, sir.
Good morning.
You see what I'm saying about the confusion, right? My good friend they were saying. But the thing is, what is the referendum going to say? As I was saying, if you say, well, what that gentleman just said about building something for a few, and you're right, don't get involved in that, Mr. Arden, because anything that's done in Cayman will be seen by the general populace as a few. We've got to remember that the indigenous Caymanian is a minority, which is a very real thing around this region, that any country has an indigenous minority. Think about that. Generational Caymanians are a minority, right? Because of our system, this is what we're allowed. But everything can be construed to be done. That is of important progression in our progress. Look at the buildings along the 7 Mile Beach. Definitely who it benefited were more or less a select few, but we went along with it because, it provides employment. We know that they should have been built on the land side of the road and left all that for the beach. And that was the original intention, I believe, as we all understood it, of our forefathers, the 50, 60, 70 years ago when we started selling the land out there on the beach, that it would be that way. But it has not turned out to be that way. And it's detrimental to the environment. No one can say it isn't. But something has to be sacrificed. But the point is this, what I was saying about the money part of it, and that's thrown about every day. We have sent away much more than we could ever earn from those dots. Mandatorily, the people's money, I hear it's over $2 billion in the pension money. We sent it away mandatorily, which in every other country, mandatory out of your paycheck means a tax to the government. It could have been in the government's coffers. But will someone get up and say, let's have a referendum to bring that money back? Maybe you'd hear, no, that's for a select few. The select few would be the majority then. But out of the few who it'd be for. But this is the point I make, and to say that it doesn't have a mandate, the PPM is really not the government. Isn't it a coalition government?
Well, it's six different factions. Yeah.
So, okay, if we just toss it out, it's a PPM government.
Very quickly, caller.
We're not correct in that. So I'm just saying that the mandate has been given. I think it's important that we stress to the public that when we have elections, the mandate is given to the choice of who becomes government, because we have chosen all the other people who have decided to vote them as the government by the elected representative vote in our government. Isn't that how it's done? Isn't that how it has always been done?
Yeah, but not at the expense of all the human beings in this country. You don't have the mandate to go and do whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want. You have been given a mandate to go and change or alleviate traffic. You campaigned on that, or build a cruise burden facility, but not just on a whim and a fancy and how you want, and put the country in 100 years of liability for generations to come. No, You can't do that. It needs to be done, managed properly in the interest of all the people.
I want to thank that caller. We're going to a commercial break, a last commercial break for the morning, because we have about 15 minutes left on the show. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
A trip to New York City is the experience of a lifetime. Starting this December, Cayman Airways will be offering daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman to New York City. That's right, Cayman Airways is going daily to New York City starting this December. Stroll through Central Park or take in the bright lights of Times Square, enjoy a Broadway show, or visit museums, the Empire State Building, and so much more. Whether you're visiting for business or pleasure, you'll fall in love with New York City. And daily non-stop flights from Grand Cayman aboard Cayman Airways starting this December. For details and to book, call Cayman Airways reservations at 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com. You remember the sale at Vamp Motors?
Yeah, the Your Sale, Your Choice, the one where you can get cash back or can put the savings to extend the warranty or upgrade features?
Yes, it's still going on, but now you can get $8,000 off a new Ford Ranger truck. $8,000, you know?
You for real?
Come see for yourself, while they still have so much to choose from now through October. Save big during Your Sale, Your Choice at Vamp Motors. With almost every vehicle on sale, you decide whether to get your dream ride at its lowest price. Take cash back, add years to the warranty or service plan. Choose an add-on or mix your options. Your sale, your choice, because you know what you need, and Vamp Motors will help you drive it home. Vamp Motors on Walker's Road.
Not all insurance is created equal, but who has the time to shop around? Take the guesswork out of your insurance coverage with Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Let us match you with the best coverage to suit your needs at a price to suit your wallet. Plus, get superior customer service from dedicated claims professionals to ensure speedy claims processing. Get your insurance through Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Thousands of Caymanians work in our cruise tourism industry. It is a myth that Cayman does not need cruise tourism. It is a fact that 4,500 Caymanians work in this industry today as taxi and tour operators, boat captains and crew, restaurateurs, retailers, water sports operators, and ambassadors at our attractions. If our cruise tourism industry is half of what it is today, what are we going to do with our people, the thousands of unemployed Caymanians? Support the peers, support our tourism.
Tune in Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Radio Cayman's Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio, featuring Will Sinatra. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop, dancehall, and soca.
The Super Jam Show is fueled by the proud sponsorship of Fitness Plus and Train with Drake.
Get top-rated personal training or build your very own home or office gym today.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I believe we still have one caller on hold, Miss Susan. Let's go straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Thanks for being so patient. And we know we've had you there hanging for quite a while.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, we brief and rapid today. Listen, right now, right, everything is a political context, a political strategy, right? And whatever the outcome is in the sport, right? The parlay, the paradox rendition of it, right? In long term, when you think about it, I put a port now, right? I call him Monday, right? And I spoke with Arden from my person. I know a person there too. You know my person out there, right? And just give me 1 minute now. Like I say now, henceforth in the future, you think about business clientele, the product, right? Cayman eyes, that you think about now. Like I said again, Mr. OC, I didn't have no remorse now, right? The boys remorse, you hear, oh, it's too late. The time is skyrocket. 150 million more, right? And listen, the first caller calling, right, is me, that's a mine, right? Look at Mr. Bush now, and Mr. Alden, rivalry, right? They put heads together. Hello, execute the plan. Look here, Theresa May, she read China and January. Made a deal now. I know, I understand, we never really in the communist thing, right? You know the Chinese in Jamaica, right? You know the Mexicans go to Jamaica airport.
No,
right?
Manly, yes, international
yeah,
airport.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful how you tread, right? With the HBC, you know how you go, right? So I didn't get to explain about it, but listen, I put a port, and whatever the outcome be, it flourish left, right, and center.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, caller. One of our listeners.
That's his right.
Yeah,
that's his right, and you can't take that away from him.
Yeah,
I would never try to take
and
that away.
Not only that, he's given his reasons why he wants to. Why for the port.
The same right I have to oppose it as how they're building it, that gentleman and every person has to say whichever.
And I don't think that anybody's denying anyone that right. One of our listeners wants to know whether or not the meeting in East End on Monday night will be streaming on Facebook for those Caymanians who are interested in watching but unable to come due to transportation or disability.
I'll ensure that it is, and I should, whoever that was said that, whoever that was wrote that, should know that I'm really not too hot with the technology. I'm having challenges with that, but there are some young people there, or like the name of the man that used to be Pirates Week.
Lockwood,
and these are all young Caymanians, Lockwood, and then you got a Jern, and then you got the young lady named McDermott or something like that from Cayman, originating from Cayman. These are all young kids. It's their life that we are determining. And their future that we are determining, we need to listen to them, you know.
We need to listen to everybody. We've been throwing around a word here this morning, and we hear it being thrown around quite often, the word mandate. Let's look at that for a minute, right? In one of the dictionaries, it's defined as a noun, and it's an official order or commission to do something. A mandate to seek the release, say, for instance, of a political prisoner, whatever, right? 2, the authority to carry out a policy or course of action regarded as given by the electorate to a candidate or a party that is victorious in an election. Let's look at that one, because that's basically the one that we mean when we're throwing around the word mandate in a political context. So I will read it again. The authority to carry out a policy or course of action regarded as given by the electorate to a candidate or party that is victorious in an election. And normally, those policies or actions that you want to take, you include them in your manifesto. That is how the people know it. Or you get out there on your platform, on your platform, and you state, so this is my position. If I am elected to office, this is what I promise you that I want to do, that I will do. And people will vote for you or against you on the basis of that. Mm-hmm. Now, we take that and we mingle it with the fact, well, you didn't get a full mandate because you were not the victorious party. You were there, but you're there as a result of a combination of other individuals or other parties or whatever at the end of the day. So that question is there as to whether or not you have a mandate to do it. But your point, which you pointed out off air as well, irrespective of whether you have a mandate to do something, that does not mean that you have carte blanche to do it, that you can do it carte blanche.
But let's look at it, OC. Okay, remember when Blair and Cameron and Lib Dems, what was that boy's name again? Oh, God. The one that were heading up Lib Dems.
Yes, David, I shall tell you.
Yeah. Clegg. When they joined together to form a government in England, everybody brought to the table what they wanted. Okay? That's how it works. I don't think it was any different when Alden and McKeever joined. McKeever brought some stuff and Alden brought stuff. They came to an agreement, or they didn't come to agreement on some of those things. But the things they came to an agreement on, they moved forward with. And I suspect one of them was the cruise berthing facility, because Mose had been at it, McKeever had been at it. Now, Alden had opposed McKeever on China Harbor. Now, I don't know how they got back in there. We would have to find that out. They would have to tell the people that. But everybody brings...
Isn't there a selection, some sort of committee that has been established for the procurement and the tendering and stuff like that of this cruise port facility?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, is there one?
There is one,
okay.
But it doesn't matter in the case of eliminating certain countries or certain companies from bidding in the Cayman Islands. Mm-hmm. We can do that. Mm-hmm. We can do that. That is why you pre-qualify people too and say, listen, we don't. That's part of the pre-qualifying. We don't want China Harbor to bid on anything in our country. We're staying away from that for obvious reasons. Blah 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 blah. And that was the mode we were in 2012, which we fought for to keep them out, because Alden's word, their reputation the world over. Since then, we have seen them get in trouble in Jamaica. They're down in Trinidad causing some kind of controversy down there with Trinidad owing them $2-something billion.
They just had workers go on strike in Jamaica
Absolutely.
Because of safety reasons, including the fact that they weren't provided with sufficient water on the job.
No, they're now asking to up the price on the toll on the road in Jamaica.
Yes.
And that's how these people pull you in. Now, I'm no lawyer, and we got some of the smartest lawyers in the world. They all placed all over Cayman, Maples, Walkers, all of those. And they notice these international agreements, finance agreements and stuff. Where are we going to negotiate if China Harbor gets this? And I don't know how this works, but certainly I'm sure people like Tim Ritter and all them know this. Samuel Jackson and all them. So we sign an agreement with a country, China. Mm-hmm. We're a democracy. They're communists. Somewhere there must be some provision in there that if this... the two parties get into argument.
Usually in those agreements, it states in there which country's laws that the agreement will be governed by.
Which country will be?
Well, I would say you insist that it's going to be governed by the laws of the Cayman Islands.
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
And
you insist that they're going to be governed by the laws of the Cayman Islands.
Well, those are the complicated things that has to be worked out. And I'm sure someone is looking at those. But
that would have to be a deal breaker at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, a number of my understanding, and this is not anything factual, my understanding is that China Harbor want always make provisions that their courts have an active, or they can turn to their court.
Well, the Chinese courts do not have a good international reputation.
Absolutely not. So those are the kind of things. No, mind you, like I said, I'm no lawyer. Yeah. That's no.
But very quickly, very quickly, this signing of this petition for a referendum, have we indicated to those persons who are signing? Because I haven't seen the petition yet. I haven't seen it. Are there any suggestions in terms of what those proponents of a referendum want the question to be? Because
they can't determine that.
Well, you can't determine it, but then do you get into another argument in another debate when the cabinet sets the question the way that you don't like it? Well, so, you have to be proactive. And I know Ms. Susan doesn't like me moving the hands around, but that's a part of the optics, Ms. Susan.
It has to be approved by the legislature.
Yeah, it has to be approved, but the government has the numbers in the legislative assembly
absolutely,
as well. So if you have to be proactive and tell the people what it is that you want to see in that question. Well, don't wait until later on, and then you got to go out there and you got to figure out what is it that you want in that question. That should be done the question. Now. And you say that you have a lot of smart people out there who are behind all of this. Then they need to start to use their smarts and get, ahead of the curve.
I don't know where you're leaning with this, one way or the other.
I'm just trying to help.
You're just trying to help. Well, that sounds kind of strange, but anyhow, anyway, we'll see. My thing is to you. Even if you were leaning hypothetically to support the doc, like the last caller, one of the callers that called, sign the petition. This gives you that opportunity to vote for the doc
or against it.
No. Those people who supporting the doc.
Oh, yeah.
We can get people against. For me, it is the location of the pier itself. Mm-hmm. I'm not against the doc.
But see, you're missing my point. The people who want to kill the referendum in the first place, all they have to do is just don't go out there and vote at all, and they kill it dead in its track.
There's going to be a campaign, right? And the government will come out and tell you that this is the best thing since sliced bread, and vote yes.
Or they may tell you don't go out there and vote at all. We had
of course
one party at one point in time who pointedly said to their people, do not get out there and vote, and many of them followed those instructions.
Well, if that is their strategy to win it, so that it doesn't cross that bar, that's a good one.
Oh, by the way, Miss Susan say she don't mind me flinging my arms around, just don't swing them at you. But she don't know about you two when you're sitting next to you and you get so excited, you're pinching, you're punching people on the leg, all sorts of things.
Miss Susan, he knows me for a long time when he was in New York and he was teaching people to. Well, I don't know if any of them still alive.
We had a brake on the a brake pedal on the passenger side because the instructors, as an instructor, I could stop the car while the student driver has a brake on that side. So if I saw something happening, I could press it. And Saturday nights and stuff like that, we're going out to parties and stuff like that. And Arden, he's messing around, pressing the brakes while I'm driving.
So he knows I'll do mischievous things.
So very quick wrap up for Monday.
Yeah, I'm inviting people to come out Monday evening. What is interesting about those meetings, OC? I didn't know this guy, Courtney Platt or something. I didn't know him. Maybe I've seen him one or two times, and I understood from Ezra that he was proposing to do a little video before the meetings and stuff. And I was a little wary at first. I say, what is this about? But I was thoroughly impressed, I must tell you. And it as fast as he talks, and sometimes you miss some things from him because he's trying to condense everything into 20 minutes. It is something worth seeing, because I'm sure, like me, there are many people who don't know what is out there around Eden Rock, because I've never ventured into putting any tanks on my back. I'll do a little skin dive or now and again, snorkeling or something like that, and I don't know if I can even do that again. But that's interesting to know about all those ships out there, the Cali and those that were out there. So I think people should come and look at it, and it's not about making up your mind, and it's about enlightening yourself, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And some people, maybe we should get some glass bottom boats or the submarines,
but they do
take people out there and show them what is out there and what is at risk. You have a weekend and you say, come out to the tourist landing, and we're going to take you for a ride out there and show you.
Or you want us to stage that now?
Huh?
I mean,
that's another way of getting to people. Letting them see
all these things you're talking about are available here,
and they don't have to
see them as tourist things.
And they don't have to hire Cambridge Analytica to do it. We have a lot of people around here with common sense who can do these things. Those young people, I'm not saying that they're not smart and things, but they need to have the veterans backing behind them so that they can have the proper guidance. And the one caution that I want to put out there, if you want to attract people to your cause, steer clear of the negativity. Steer clear of the aggression, because what that does, it turns people off.
Well, what about the government? They're telling people all kind of things that if you vote for this, it's a no against for the referendum. So
that's for everybody.
You can't be one-sided.
That's for everybody.
You're talking about those who try and get the referendum.
Well, no,
that's
because
why you say those things.
I have heard in one particular instance someone on another talk show who said to a proponent of the dock, you need to get off of this phone and get back and manage the turtle farm. I don't think that was nice.
Well, that's there. That may not have been nice, but it's probably right. Thank you very much.
Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. I also want to thank MLA Mr. Arden McLean for being here this morning as well. I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. John Sterling, Dwayne Banks at 12 noon for Talk Today. And we also want to thank our sponsor, Cayman Airways. And I want to remind you that Cayman Airways will be offering daily flights nonstop from Grand Cayman to New York City starting this December. So call Cayman Airways reservation at 949-2311. Contact the travel agent or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your flights today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking and pension needs, call or visit a Fidelity branch today. Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. And Cayman Pharmacy Group, with locations in West Base and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. And Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling Seaboard Marine at 949-4977.
Oh, Cayman Moon.
The voice of the Cayman Islands, Radio Cayman.
Shining down from above.
We love our listeners.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.